on the beat.
I see mommy in Kechi, a rapper don't tell she the new for grave where my uche de Papa Emeka. Don't blind from growing, Pekin don't fall, now watch up I'm raw. Me self they shake my hand no feel. Yesterday we laughed, today now dust we more. If we don't stop this night where we they share, tell me who go sing for the ones we know they.
She need the voice from under the soil. Brother, no let my blood turn to oil. Little Ada they ask where my papa go. Her small hand they shake, she no sabi this woe. I beg my people see this fire we burn. Now our house they blaze, now our future they turn. We go tell their ghosts we no go fail you. If we hold this love, their death go burn you.
No, make we try yo. Back up in the day.
I beg my people see this fire we burn. Now our house they blaze, now our future they turn. We go tell their ghosts, we no go fail you. If we hold this love, their death go burn you.
I see mommy in Kechi, a rapper don't tell she the new for grave where my uche de Papa Emeka. Don't blind from growing, Pekin don't fall, now watch up I'm raw. Me self they shake my hand no feel. Yesterday we laughed, today now dust we more. If we don't stop this night where we they share, tell me who go sing for the ones we know they.
She need the voice from under the soil. Brother, no let my blood turn to oil. Little Ada they ask where my papa go. Her small hand they shake, she no sabi this woe. I beg my people see this fire we burn. Now our house they blaze, now our future they turn. We go tell their ghosts we no go fail you. If we hold this love, their death go burn you.
No, make we try yo. Back up in the day.
I beg my people see this fire we burn. Now our house they blaze, now our future they turn. We go tell their ghosts, we no go fail you. If we hold this love, their death go burn you.
Oh, make we try yo.
Back up joins with a trembling. Oh, hey. If we no join now, our children go so.
Today. By the power conferred on me as the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, and after you have voted for the open gate for the Biafra freedom, which is 100% vote, this charter has become a law, and the Biafra Helsinki Declaration 2011.
Biafra. So whether you like it or not, we have to our freedom has been discussed and have been getting it 100%, and that's why we are going home. Biafra is declared.
My here. Overlook now. He got no photo. Me quere, he get queria. My hair quero. I get queria.
They must surely hear from us. What we are doing today is an historical event, which from the eternity, which can never be abolished. The land of Finland has given us that platform, which we have stand and build the pillar of freedom of Biafra. We are the land of the future. Thank you for all your effort.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead.
This is na wicked word. This is na confusion word. Listen to Palibran. Palibran. I will be telling you a story about one lady girl. Pali they go to work. Pali they work for bank. Then I enter for motor. Wherever they go. Wherever they go, opposite Udi, but the right hand side, along Gusukudu Road, I see people run, I see people run, then I ask the driver waiting they happen, the driver waiting they happen, the driver tell the party boy, see no day for talk. See nothing for talk. If you better you take your eye and see. Then I call the driver. The driver waiting. The driver waiting. This is na wicked word. This is na confusion word. Listen to Palibran. Palibran. I will be telling you a story about one lady girl. Pali they go to work. Pali they work for bank. Then I enter for motor. Wherever they go. Wherever they go, opposite Udi, but the right hand side, along Gusukudu Road, I see people run, I see people run, then I ask the
Biafra.
of David from the book of Psalm, chapter 7. And I will pray in English because a lot of people are listening all over the world. I mean, a lot. Millions are listening all over the world. And I want them to follow our proceedings this very evening. Very, very critical, very, very important that we do so. O Lord, my God, the creator of the heavens and the earth, we take refuge in you. Save and deliver us from all that pursue us. Because if you look away from us, they will tear us apart like a lion and rip us to pieces with no one to rescue us. Because the world is against Biafra for no reason. We are hated, we are despised for no discernible reason. Only thee, O Lord God Almighty in heaven, is our Savior, not man. You must come to our rescue. Because you are our Lord and you are our God. If we have done this, if I have done anything, if there is guilt on my hands, if I have repaid anybody, be it friend or an adversary, with evil or without cause, have done wrong to any man or woman, then let the Fulani Janjaweed pursue and overtake me. Let them trample down my life to the ground and make me sleep in the dust. Arise, O Elohim, Adonai El Shaddai, in your anger, rise up against the rage of the Fulani Janjaweed Caliphate and the Zoological Republic. You will rise and you will fight for your children. You will awake, O Heavenly Father, Lord God Almighty, the creator of the heavens and the earth, the owner of the universe, for you must decree justice. Let your children and all men and of goodwill gather around you while you sit on top of your throne in the highest of the heavens, the habitation that only thee can ever occupy. Only you, O Heavenly Father, will judge the people. You will vindicate me, O Lord, you will vindicate IPOB, you will vindicate your children of Biafra, according to our righteousness, according to our integrity. O Most High, bring an end to the violence of the wicked, bring an end to Fulani Janjaweed violence in our land, bring an end to their abductions, bring an end to their kidnappings, bring an end to their extrajudicial slaughter of the innocent, bring an end to their forced conversion of Christians into Islam, bring to an end their mediocrity, bring to an end their senseless feudal rule, bring to an end their evil and their deception. Come and secure the righteous, because only you, O God Almighty in heaven, can see in the dark. Only you know the hearts of men. You are our shield. We have nobody. Between 67 and 1970, the whole world ganged up and fought against your children. We did not steal anything from anybody. We did not go after anybody's possession nor inheritance. We were on our own in the land that you gave to our ancestors. They conspired, they connived, they colluded to kill us. Over 5 million people. We are dead at the end of it. You are our shield. We do not trust in any man or in any state. We trust only in thee, because you are God and you always save the upright at heart. Anybody whose heart is clean, oh Heavenly Father, to those you do not abandon to their enemies. That is why you cannot abandon IPOB. That is why Biafra can never be abandoned. Because your words are yea and amen. You are God, you're not human. Facebook may have been bought over by Nigeria, and we pray that Twitter will not succumb to their threats and their violence. You are God and you are an upright and a just judge. But you are also a God that displays his wrath every blessed day. If Fulani Janjaweed do not relent in what they are doing, if the Fulani Caliphate continues to pursue this scorched earth policy of abductions and murder and mayhem, then you, O Lord God in heaven, you will sharpen your sword, you will bend and string your bow, you will prepare your deadly weapons, you will make ready your flaming arrows. Whoever is pregnant with evil conceives trouble and gives birth to disillusionment. That is what is happening in the zoo called Nigeria. Nigeria is pregnant with evil because it conceived trouble and it has now given birth to disillusionment. All the holes that the Fulani Janjaweed are digging for us into that pit, they are falling into one after the other. The trouble that they have caused will always rebound on them. Their violence will come down on their own heads. O Heavenly Father, for we shall give thee thanks always, all the days of our lives, because only thee is righteous. We shall sing songs of praise unto your holy name, O Most High. For as long as there is a child on this earth of Biafran descent and heritage, O Heavenly Father, we shall worship your name and your name alone, now and forevermore, we pray. He said, that was our prayer this evening. We are now going to proceed without further hesitation to bring to you the gospel which I have been mandated by heaven to preach to the children of men. That are going to come. You know, Fulani has this very stupid and senseless pride in them. I know that their pride won't allow them, they must come. And remember, I will keep reminding you of this every blessed day. This Fulani army will die in Biafra land. They want to move them in. Maybe to start there, they are doing now is abduction. We are in the season of abduction. Very soon they will try their shoot at sight to see if it will work. But I'm not sure it is going to work for them again, considering that all the entire southern governors have now come together to issue a communique stating it very, very clearly that the way they have been handling things in the past hasn't moved the situation forward. Now what they're trying to do is to try to bring in a new measure. And I want to warn Fulani Janjaweed in Asorok, any measure you bring to our land, we're equal to it. Anything you bring, we are going to face you. You understand that very clearly. Okay? So it doesn't matter what the AIG does, what the IG does, and all these idiots. The more you move men down to the east, the more the north will be taken. But of course, I know it's all the part of the game plan. What they want to do is to emasculate, to intimidate. So we can become wretched, lily-livered cowards. We will now allow you to enter into our land, or send us away from our land. We'll come maybe to IDP camps in Amazonia. But it's not going to happen, and you understand that very well. And as I told you, you will take the bait, you will come. We will lure you into our land, and your army will die there. And the places you left in the north, in Sharia, Kor, Arewa North, will be taken over by terrorists and criminals that will never, ever, ever listen to any of you. These are the things you must understand. So we are ready for you. Anytime you want, you can bring the game on. We are waiting for you. But you can never, ever have it easy anymore. All that thing that people come out, you open fire anyhow. You know that if you open fire on the people, you will be confronted there and then immediately. And you are going to die sooner than later. You will also perish. So now you understand. It doesn't matter what you announce or what you're not announcing, but we are assuring you that you are not going to prevail nor succeed in intimidating the children of God into submission. It cannot happen. You can try that nonsense elsewhere. It will work for you. But you see, in the East, it can never ever work. Never ever work. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Because when tyranny, as somebody said, when tyranny becomes a law for the government, massive rebellion becomes a mandate for the people. Because you cannot keep pushing us to the wall all the time, pushing us to the limits, massacring innocent civilians over and over and over again, and you don't expect them to fight back. You must be foolish. I want to remind all the intellectuals and sophisticated morons, all of them, go back a few years ago. The slaughter, the killing of IPOB family members, peaceful protesters, Shia protesters, NSAS. Every time army and police will come, they open fire. None of you will talk. But now in our land, they are always looking behind their backs. They don't know where death is coming from. Because I assure them, they are all going to perish. The people telling you that they have a plan to secure the East, Southeast and South-South, according to them. Armed robbers invaded Asarok. So we are led to believe. Only under this regime, something unheard of in the whole world. It's never been, I don't know where these Nigerians, I don't know who gave them their brain. Maybe it was picked from the dustbin. I have no idea. Some of you may have dismissed this issue of armed robbery in Asarok, but I want you to understand something. It's never happened anywhere before in the history of the world or modern governance. Never ever happened before. They said they ransacked the chief of staff home, Ibrahim Gambari, and Abubakar Maikano, and they stole valuable assets. That is how corrupt the Fulani people are. I told you before that is something the Fulanis they have perfected over the years. When they finish draining any particular department or parastatal dry, they set it alight to destroy every incriminating evidence. I am sure that whatever they may have stolen from the homes of Ibrahim Gambari and this Abubakar Maikano could be financial instruments worth billions of dollars belonging to the people. If you ask us, oh, armed robbers came, how can armed robbers, if armed robbers can, or should I say, unknown gunmen enter into Asarok to go and steal state valuables? Now tell me which part of the zoo is safe. They did not sit down to say to themselves, let us look for a way to strategize and devise new security approach to Asarok to guard it. It's Southeast and South-South they're interested in. In the East, Biafra. And newspapers and their editors publish this type of junk every blessed day. And I'm asking them, they have no shame, honestly. Armed robbers came to the seat of government to steal and walked away free. You shamelessly came out to announce that you are devising a new strategy for the East. You have not been able to devise a strategy to keep yourself safe inside Asarok. That is how they reason. It is supposed to be the most secure place in Nigeria. It is now every man for himself. That is why I commend Governor Autumn for what they have done. I will ask the southern governors, when next to your meeting, invite your middle belt counterparts, and you see that the zoo will collapse within 2 weeks. Not just collapse. All those things that you have been asking for, they will give it to you. That is why all of you must come to the fullness, or should I say, to the realization that you must, without fail, keep on doing what you're doing in terms of defending your land. You must defend your land. Look at people suggesting. I mean, can you go to to, how can I put it, to a gate man in a hospital and ask them to administer any form of treatment because you found them at the gate. Because you found them at the gate of a hospital. These people that are like gate men in a hospital, you are prescribing a remedy that you cannot even yourself inculcate into the plan to keep your own self safe. You're not safe, but you're busy dishing out directive to go to, we now have a new plan. I'm asking the IG of police, go and secure Asarok first. Go and secure Abuja, where children are no longer going to school. Go and secure Abuja first. Go and recover Medugri. Go and recover parts of Yobe. Go and recover parts of Zamfara from the same terrorists that you groomed before suggesting how peace can be restored in the East. If you want to use that as a cover to bring in your army, they're going to die there anyway, so there's no need. I will not stress myself on this. Bring them now, you're going to see. And I want to warn our Oduduwa brothers, and I made it very clear to the activists last night, that the Fulanis imported a lorry load of arms and ammunition, and the containers were being escorted by the military last night, and they offloaded this very consignment somewhere in Oshodi. But I'll come to that later on. I will give you the full details of exactly what transpired. And that was why Tinubu said that we had planned to bomb Lagos, something that is undoable in 1 billion years. In 1 billion years. They think we are very good students of contemporary history. We know the history of the war. I know personally how people from the West viewed the move by Biafran army to go and capture the seat of power or to neutralize them. It wasn't even an army of conquest to conquer Yoruba people, of course not. It was heading straight to Dodan barracks in those days to go and neutralize them. I know personally how my Yoruba friends have explained to me their trepidation and their fear over that very expedition led by Banjo then. We know. So we cannot try anything stupid. We can never, ever, ever, not on this earth, antagonize our Yoruba brethren. Our Oduduwa brethren. It's impossible. We can never do it. We meet all the time. We have meetings all the time. So how can we? Are you telling me that all those gallant men in OPC, all those gallant men all over Yoruba land, they cannot do any work? If we agree that they should go and start, disturbing those who are disturbing them, they have more than enough men to do it. More than enough to do it. We don't have to go there. But they lied as usual, as they always do. As they always do. As they always do. But in the north, what is happening? Some of you must be aware of what DSS is doing in and around Abuja. And do you also know that DSS, they also get a cut of the ransom? Are you aware of that? Do you know that the DSS or SSS, they should be properly referred to, do you know that they get a share from bandits? So Fulani people are not even happy owning all the oil wells, controlling the Ministry of Finance, controlling Asura, controlling almost everybody, controlling the defense budget. How many of you here are aware that the daughter of Abba Kyari is the one responsible for all Nigeria's investment abroad? It's called sovereign wealth. Investment in stock markets all over the world is the daughter of Abba Kyari. They control everything. Federal inland revenue, every source of finance. Finance minister is always fallen. Even when you plant your joro, or you plant maize, or you plant cabbage or carrot, the same Fulani terrorists will come and destroy it, use it to feed their cattle, and kidnap you in the process. Even that little money you have made by selling maize or yam or cabbage or watermelon, you now use it to pay the same Fulani to release your child, release your father, or release your mother back to you safely. Do you see what is happening? And you'll be astonished. I don't know why the mainstream media in the zoo doesn't want to give this very particular piece of news the coverage that it deserves. How we receive weapons from DSS agents and share the gains by Fulani bandits, Fulani terrorists. DSS that is busy abducting people. Oh, they want us to go into kidnapping and armed robbery as well. That's what they want. So we can start sharing the money. Okay, that's what they're looking for. They are, as I'm speaking to them, they are now in Aba and everywhere, claiming they are implementing security strategy. But the same DSS, I don't know why their National Assembly, I have no idea why these people should not be investigated, prosecuted, and shut down. DSS. Instead of contributing to making your lives as safe as it can be within the contraption, they are making it worse. I'll read it for you. They told a German television, Deutsche Welle, in a recent report that they borrow money from DSS agents. And who are the people in charge of DSS? Fulani. Who are the people borrowing guns and ammunition from DSS? Fulani terrorists. That is why the South must understand they are all in this whole thing together. They're all in it together. As the security is worsening in Nigeria, armed bandits terrorizing different parts of the country have made a startling revelation to the German, I think it is the flagship media in Germany, Deutsche Welle, that they have been receiving weapons from operatives of DSS. You see their DSS, you see them with their uniform DSS. They are worse than bandits. These are hardened criminals, and none of them are Fulani. Very, very sadly. The criminals told Deutsche Welle in a recent report that they borrow weapons from the state agents and then go to work to share the ill-gotten gains together. They go, you pay ransom. They go to school. Now I know the reason why they keep sending that terrorist Sheikh Gumi to go and negotiate. They know where they are. DSS will not go and get them or mount a rescue operation to release those who have been kidnapped. Instead, they are waiting for you to pay the ransom. They will tell Sheikh Gumi, tell them to pay, tell them to pay. It's dicey. Operationally, it's not difficult. The terrain is, there is a valley, there is a hill. Talking rubbish. Then you give that 100 million naira ransom to the bandits. DSS will collect their own cut. Maybe take their guns or say, oh, boys, well done. Oh, in the same one Nigeria. In the same one Nigeria. Now the world knows because Deutsche Welle carried it. That thing we have been saying for years, that all the Fulani cabal that are in it together, every Fulani person in any sensible position in government is part of this very grand conspiracy to overwhelm all of you. If you don't submit to their will, willingly, they will use every tactics, including terror, to get it from you. Now, the whole world knows, including the government of the USA, the EU, the UK, Japan, Russia, China, everyone now is fully aware of the fact that Nigerian security forces are the ones fueling insecurity for financial benefits. It is here in the news. Go and Google it. It is very clear. Insecurity, how we receive weapons from DSS agents and share the gains. These are Fulani people, perhaps from Timbuktu, telling Deutsche Welle. And all of you are there shouting one Nigeria, making the Janjaweed feel that you need them, whereas they are the ones that need us to survive. I have asked you this thing before. Go and read the amalgamation document. Lugard made it very, very clear. The reason why we are amalgamating the North and the South is because the North is poor. They have nothing. Till today, they still have nothing. These are the things you must bear in mind. The time we are live and direct, for those who are peddling, I'll come to that thief, Bola made it Tinubu later on, to those writing junk that Interpol is looking for Nnamdi Kanu. He fled from London. The time now is 7:55, live. Interpol.
We are encouraging everybody who is backsliding to wake up. Wake up. Izombe, thank you very much. Izombe Bombay. Izombe killing. You must understand the reason why the sit at home must continue, whether they like it or not, until they treat us the way they are treating the people in the North.
Let us crash the economy. Anything you can do to crash this economy of Nigeria, bring it down until they begin to treat us the way they are treating Boko Haram. And we are not Boko Haram, and we are not terrorists. We are fighting for freedom, and our fight is legal. Under international law, under Africa Charter for Human and People's Rights. So, under which law are these Boko Haram fighting? Can they tell us? Can they tell us under which law? What is the under which law they are fighting? Under which law? We need to know under which law Boko Haram is fighting. There is no law. There is no law that back them. There is no law that backed Boko Haram. There is no law that backed ISIS. They have no backing, they have no legal backing whatsoever. But we do. We are fighting for self-determination. And this first self-determination to protect our land against foreign invaders, the law gives us right to use arms. Are you aware of that? And we are not even yet using the arms. The law gave us right. Under Article 21, under Article 20, 21 of the African Human and People's Rights, African Charter of Human and People's Rights, gave us right to use arms. Because what the word of that particular article say is that liberation force. Liberation force. To fight against foreign domination. Foreign domination. What we are witnessing in Nigeria today is foreign domination. It is a complete foreign domination. Fulani are not Nigerians. So it falls under that law. That is why, you see, if left for me, believe me, by now, Nigeria will be on fire. Nigeria will be, because these people, you don't treat them with heat glove. You don't treat them with pure water. You don't treat them with cold water. We need to put the Nigeria on fire to liberate ourselves. Look at Ethiopia. What is happening there? You know, when we are saying this thing, people are, look at Ethiopia. Go to Ethiopia. Go and search news. Go and read the news in Ethiopia. What is going on there? We don't continue to romance these things. Romance these things. Insulting us, cajoling us, treating us anyhow. You can imagine when they come, when you have set a precedent, they are now accusing us that our elders are setting a very bad precedent. So I want to prove this video for you to understand what has been going on. This has been going on since 2015. Only once, our elders went to Abuja. It becomes problem to the north. Only once. Just for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it becomes a problem to them. They are organizing press conference. They are castigating it. They are saying the Igbos want a tribal war. They are saying the Igbos want to destroy Nigeria. They are saying, for only one time, we ask for favor. That is not even a favor, by the way. It is not even a favor. If we want to ask for favor, we would want Dumeme, the kidnapper, released. It is part of it. Because he committed crime. Dumeme, what is the name? The kidnapper.
Evans.
The kidnapper. In fact, left for me, I would go for his release. I would fight and say, let them release him, because if they can release Boko Haram, who have killed thousands of people, why can't they release the Dumeme for us? He's our criminal. He is our own criminal. Evans. Why can't they release Evans? They sentence Evans to death by hanging. Now tell me, Evans' crime and this Boko Haram crime, which one is more grave? Which one is more grave? They are all the same. Evans' own is even, you know. So you know, if I ask you now, which crime now is more grave, you know, or more aggravated? Which one is more aggravated? Is it Wadume? Is it Vance? Is it Boko Haram? But we have not heard about Wadume. Wadume has not been sentenced to life imprisonment or by hanging. But Evans already collected his own verdict. So if we are going for Evans now, they will say we are looking for favor. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we are not looking for favor. It is not a favor. Because you cannot sentence Mazi Nnamdi Kanu under Nigerian law. It is impossible. So the only thing we are asking now is that don't waste time. Because at the end of the day, you are still going to release him. That is just Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. What we are asking is that there is no need to waste time, you know, holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because you cannot sentence him, you cannot convict him anyway. Like the one we saw was Wazirike people, 15 good years. 15 good years. At the end of the day, they acquitted them. Because you can't convict anybody under Nigerian law for self-determination. You can't. So the only thing they will do is to delay and adjourn and adjourn and adjourn. Just what they are doing to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now. Adjourn case till January, adjourn case till that day. And now he has spent 4 months, more than 4 months. No trial. More than 4 months. No trial. And upon that, they committed crime against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They tortured him. It's a crime punishable under international law. They committed extraordinary rendition. Kidnapping by the state is a very serious crime under international law. And we're going to sue a hell out of them already. That one is going on already. So we are not actually asking for favor to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But if we go for advance, that is where we are going to look for favor, because he committed the crime. But the question now is, what about those, even the kidnappers, Fulani kidnappers that are, you know, how many of them have been sentenced? None. Every day they are kidnapping and abducting people in Abuja as Kaduna Expressway. Nobody they have never arrested anybody. Tomorrow you hear they are bombing there. Tomorrow, because before they go there to bomb there, they gave them information, they all disappeared. We know the game.
Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for joining us on today's program. I welcome you wherever you are joining from. Whether you are watching us on TikTok, or you're watching us on Facebook, or you're watching on YouTube, where I'm hosting the program, I appreciate you, I welcome you, and I thank you for joining us. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Accept my greetings according to your time zone. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. If you have not yet liked and share, very, very important. That is the first thing you do when you join us on YouTube. You like and you share. You like and you share. It doesn't cost you money. It doesn't cost you money. It's free. Just like the program and share it. Then subscribe if you have not done so. Then if you're watching on TikTok, tap the screen. You just help us tap on the screen, tap on the screen, tap on the screen to help it activate the live stream so that others can be able to see it and join us. I wish every one of you a very happy weekend. It is another weekend program, and this weekend program is going to be a bombshell. It is the talk of the town and what we have been waiting for a very long time. If you are in this platform, tighten up your belt and prepare to make your contribution. This is a discussion that is going to involve every single one of us. Remember, in this platform, we don't come here to instigate violence. We don't come here to promote hate. We don't come here to attack people or individuals. We do not come here to attack any group. And we are not here to promote any group or section. What we are here to promote is the cause of Biafra, self-determination for the Biafran people. That is why we're here. To promote and support humanity. That is why we're here. To expose Nigerian government atrocities against Biafran people and against its own citizens. That is why we are here. We are here to expose the war that Nigerian government is fighting against the Biafrans that they are hiding. This war is ongoing every blessed day. Even as we speak, the war is still ongoing. They hide it, but in this platform, we expose it to bring it to the world and we'll say it the way it is. We do not come here to attack any race or any religion. As long as you are genuinely seeking for freedom, you are genuinely concerned about humanity, you are welcome in this platform. You are free to join us on the section, to make your contribution, to ask your question. You also have the right to come in and bring in your superior argument. You don't agree with what we are saying, you have a different line of thought, you are very much entitled to your opinion. And you have the right to come on and then convince us. Bring your superior argument with facts. I bet you, if you are able to convince the Biafran people, they will follow you. If you are able to convince me, I am going to be one of your apostles to preach your message. So prepare yourself while you're coming. I welcome everyone that has connected. We will continue to preach this message. It is something that I have signed up for. It is my own part of sacrifice that I have chosen, no matter how difficult it is. Sometimes it is very hard and difficult to come on. But in the midst of those difficult times, I always hold on to it and make sure that I come to fulfill my own promise to Biafra. The Biafran cause is something that concerns me. It is something that I am part of. It is part of my life. The issue of Biafra is a question of life and death. So I will continue to be part of it. I will continue to be part of it no matter what happens. No matter the obstacles, no matter the temptations, no matter the attacks. It doesn't matter where they are coming from east, from west, from north, from south. Wherever they come from, we are going to face them head on and we shall overcome. So wherever you are joining us from, I welcome you to this platform and I wish you a very happy weekend. It is a very beautiful weekend for us and I believe we are going to take it very strong and do it the way we are supposed to do it. So wherever you are, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Abiyama to kindly join us on this very platform. Let us preach the gospel and let us take it to the highest level where we can. The topic we have chosen today is a very, very interesting one, and we are going to take it step by step. My fellow Biafrans, I urge every one of us that is in this platform today to pay attention to this topic we are going to treat. Invite someone to join us. This is a time where we'll involve the international communities, we involve the human rights activists, we involve all human rights organizations that matters to pay attention and listen to us. The topic of today says, the Christian genocide, they hide. The Christian genocide, they hide. Same script in Biafra land. Faith and freedom become a crime. The Christian genocide, they hide. Same script in Biafra land. Faith and freedom become a crime. The Christian genocide that have finally captured the top of the news. The Christian genocide in northern part of Nigeria, to be precise. In the northern part of Nigeria. The Christian genocide in the northern part of Nigeria that have been hidden for a very long time. That the Zoological Republic of Nigeria do not want anyone to talk about. Finally, it has come to the front stage. They have hidden it for a very long time. This Christian genocide have been spoken about by our Prime Supreme Damasen Nandekano for a very long time. Nobody paid attention. The world ignored it. Master Simon Ekpa spoke about it, and talked so much, did so many videos, and conducted so many programs on it. They kept silent and they ignored it. Every one of us on our various platforms, we have spoken about it, talked about it. They didn't pay attention. But thanks to Kukabana, suddenly their attention is drawn to the Christian genocide in the northern part of Nigeria. But we want to remind them at the same time that that is the same script that is being played in Biafra land. It is not just about the Christian genocide in the northern part of Nigeria. In the old southeastern region of Nigeria, the same thing, the exact thing is happening. The only difference is that it is the government itself that is playing the same role, doing the same thing that the terrorists are doing in the north. The government itself are the one carrying that operation in Biafra land today as we speak, even as you're watching this video. But the world is not paying attention. The world have decided to separate it and choose the one that will favor them, that will not affect their economic interests. They chose the one that will not affect their economic interests. The genocide of Biafran people, of the Christians in the northern part of Nigeria, is happening. The same thing is happening in Biafra land as we speak. In Nigeria today, faith and freedom has become a crime. The faith you confess and asking for freedom, self-determination, has become a crime. Nigeria has succeeded, even dragging some other countries like Finland into criminalizing self-determination. That is how bad it is. That is how bad it is. But eventually, the world does not want to say things the way they are. They prefer to choose things to talk about and things they will not talk about. But it doesn't matter what they choose. It doesn't matter what they say. We know whom we are. And we are going to fight our battle and win it. We will fight our battle and win it, no matter what they do, no matter what they say. We will fight our battle until we win it. So today we have come to discuss about this very topic, the Christian genocide they hide. Same script in Biafra land. Faith and freedom become a crime. My fellow Biafrans that are watching this program today, I welcome every one of you today, and I would like you to pay attention, because this is an issue that is of concern, not just to the Biafran people, to everyone in that contraption called Nigeria, and to the world at large. Brothers and sisters across the world, lovers of freedom, today we speak about truth the world have chosen to ignore. We are going to speak about the truth that the world has chosen to ignore. The genocide against Christians in the northern Nigeria, and how it directly connects to the genocide against Biafrans, especially the Igbo people, by the Nigerian government. This is not just history. This is happening right now as we speak. It is still ongoing. It is not just history. We are not talking about history. We are not talking about something. It is happening as we speak. As you are watching this program, it is still ongoing. This is not just religion or politics. This is about life and death, justice and silence. So don't misquote it. This is not just religion or politics. This is about life and death, justice and silence. And I want everyone to pay attention as we proceed. What is happening in northern Nigeria is something that no sensible person can tolerate. No part of the world will tolerate it, that will allow it to happen. No part of the world will allow what is happening in Northern Nigeria to happen without an outrage. It didn't start yesterday. It didn't start today. It has been happening over and over and over again. But the world chose to be silent about it. Suddenly, recently, they woke up from their sleep. In the contraption called Nigeria, there have been daily massacres from Kaduna to Plateau, from Benue to Borno. Christians are slaughtered daily by Fulani terrorists, Boko Haram and ISWAP. Every single thing we say in this platform can be confirmed. All you need to do is to go and Google the information. You will get it. It is there raw. It has been there. But people choose to ignore it. We have video evidence, audio evidence, picture evidence to confirm every single allegation that is being made here. Daily massacre of the Christians in the northern part of Nigeria, from Kaduna to Plateau State, from Borno to Benue State. Christians are slaughtered daily by Fulani terrorists, Boko Haram and ISWAP. Churches are burnt down to ashes. Priests are kidnapped. Churches set on fire. Villages wiped out. This is not just isolated. It is systematic. As we speak, it is even happening in the southwest. As of recently, a priest was kidnapped in the southwest, in Kwara State, and that's priest. After paying 5 million naira ransom, they still murdered the priest. After paying 5 million, that priest was still murdered. And Sahara Reporter reported it. Sahara Reporters reported it, and so many of us saw the news. Let me see if I can find that report from Sahara Reporters. Because in this program, it is not just saying about issues. It is not just putting out word out there. It is not about propaganda. It is about reality. We speak the truth the way it is, unapologetically. We bring it out, tell you the way it is. It's left for you to either believe it or not, or confirm for yourself. Confirm for yourself. These atrocities have been going on for a very long time. And nobody cares. The world turn a blind eye to it. The world pretend it is not happening. When you talk about it, they turn a blind eye. But today, finally today, they are talking about it. Even though they are late, at least we thank Chukwu Kabiama that someone out there has finally decided to mention this very grievous crime against humanity happening in the contraption called Nigeria. What you are going to see now is a recent one. What you are just watching now is a recent one that happened in Kwara State. You can see it reported by Sahara Reporters. This happened in October 3rd. October 3rd. Terrorists killed, abducted Ekwa pastor in Kwara, despite collecting 5 million ransom. Despite collecting 5 million as ransom, they took his life. A pastor in Kwara State. So when you see what is happening, it is not just limited to the northern part of Nigeria. We are talking about something that has eaten deep, that if not caught, it is going to take over not just Nigeria, it is going to affect the world entirely. The terrorists are building enclave in Nigeria, and the world is busy playing politics. The world is busy playing politics. In Nigeria today, churches are burned, priests are kidnapped, churches set on fire, villages wiped out completely. Villages in Nigeria, villages are wiped out entirely. The whole people in the village wiped out. Fulani people will take over the village, rename the village, and remain there in a place where you have a government and nobody does anything. Nobody does anything. And this is not isolated, it is systemic. It happened in the southern Kaduna. It happened in Benue State. Continue to happen even as we speak. Even as we speak, it's still ongoing. And the world is silent. The world is silent. Instead of calling it a genocide, the world labeled it farmer headers clashes for a very long time, if not for just yesterday, that they begin to pay attention to it. All this while, Nigerian evil government, Nigerian terrorist government, proscribed and named by Canadian court, continue to project it as farmers header clashes. That is what you have been hearing. They call it farmer header clashes, or they call it banditry. That is the popular word that Nigerian media used to describe the atrocity, the genocide against Christians, the genocide against the Christians in the northern part of Nigeria. They describe it as farmer header clashes. They call it banditry. But in reality, it is a targeted extermination of Christians in the north. And we are going to let you know how this is connected to what is happening in the Biafra land, which Nigerian government is the one in charge. Nigerian government itself are the one carrying this same extermination project in Biafra land using their terrorist military. But because of economic interests, the world chose to separate these two and chose the one that served them better, served their interests, and they are talking about it. Even though it took them years, it took them decades to begin to talk about it. These have been happening for decades. Extermination, they plan to exterminate people, Christians in northern part of Nigeria. But today it has been intensified. They almost completed the assignment. Only when they have almost completed the assignment now, they won't wake up and they begin to talk. As we speak, there are villages that have been exterminated completely. The names of the village changed. The people that committed the genocide took over the land and they are living there even as we speak. When you go to the news, you'll be hearing about camps this, camp that in Nigeria. And you ask me, where are those people? Do they have a home? Do they have a home? That they are now living in camp, refugee camps. In your country, you are living in refugee camp. Some people have lived in refugee camp in Nigeria for 20 good years. Some children who were born, married there, they were born there and they got married there. These are people who had their homes where they were conducting their daily activities. And all this has happened. Nobody paid attention. Some Christians have remained in their refugee camps in the same Nigeria. Some of them were born there. They grew up there. And the world remains silent because they have not been directly affected. Instead of calling it genocide, the terrorist country of Nigeria continue to call it farmer headers clashes. They call it banditry. But in reality, it is targeted extermination of Christians in the north. And the most disturbing one is that the government of Nigeria is complicit in the atrocities against the Christians in the north. The government of Nigeria is fully involved, the same way they are involved in Biafra land. And we are going to prove it today. We are going to prove it with videos. We are going to prove it with written words. We are going to prove it in our discussions. The involvement of Nigerian government in the genocide, in the atrocity, in terrorizing their own citizens. Government complicity. The Nigerian state is silent. And in many cases, enable or protect the killers themselves. They either enable or protect the killers themselves. And we have seen proofs, eyewitness account, testimonies coming from right, left, and center. Even as at yesterday, security forces often arrive after the blood is shed, or worse, stand aside and watch. Something that has been to the extent that even people who were part of that evil in the past came to confess and begin to say that the government military is colluding with the terrorists. They are colluding, working hard here. To the extent that even a former chief of army staff began to call his people to pick up arms. These were the people who they used to fight against Biafra, and they thought the war was against Biafra during the Civil War. These were the people whom they meant to believe that an Igbo man is the problem, that an Igbo man have come to dominate. The same people they used against us, today, they are eliminating them one after the other. And the world is silent until recently when they have begun to talk. What you are seeing in the northern part of Nigeria is not just a random terrorism. It is not. It is organized, consistent, and deliberate terrorism. That is what we are seeing in the northern part of Nigeria against the Christians. Very well organized, consistent. They are consistent. It is happening day in, day out. Day in, day out. Even as we speak, it's still ongoing. The only thing we are hearing now is lip service. I call it lip service until they take action. The world is paying attention, but it's still lip service. They need to take action. Enough of all these talks online. Take action. Go on the ground and do something. This very extermination of Christians in the north is not isolated to the Biafran issue. It is not isolated. The federal government of Nigeria is doing exactly the same thing to exterminate the Igbo people in their territory, forcing the Igbo people to vacate their land. If not for the fact that they are so resilient, it would have been a different ballgame. As we speak, they have come to the extent of recruiting fellow Igbos themselves to carry out this act of terrorism against their own brothers and sisters, sponsored by the federal government of Nigeria through the governors and the politicians. So it is not just about the northern genocide that is happening against the Christians in the north, even in Biafra land. History is repeating itself again. Just as Christians in the north are targeted for their faith, Biafrans, especially the Igbo Biafrans, have been targeted since 1966. What you see today that is happening to the Christians in the north, the northern Christians, is what Biafrans have been facing since 1966 from the pogrom in the north that triggered the Biafran war to the starvation policy that killed over 3 million people of Biafra, mostly children and women. Nigerians' hands are soaked in Igbo's blood. The hand of Nigeria is soaked in Igbo's blood. So what you are seeing today that is happening in the northern part of Nigeria against the Christians in the north, that is causing out that the world have suddenly woke up and begin to talk about, has been happening to the Igbos since 1966 till date. As we speak, it's still ongoing, and nobody cares, nobody pays attention. Igbos are left on their own to defend themselves. And the most painful is that when they come out to defend themselves, Nigeria will activate the conspiracy. We conspire with the world, use the resources of the Igbos to also buy in the walls, buy their silence. They buy their silence. As we speak, the modern operation is still going in Biafra land. Modern operation. Even today, in Aba, Onitsha, Nnewi, Orlu, Enugu, and Owerri, innocent civilians are killed by Nigerian security forces every day, even as you're watching me. That genocide is going on in Biafra land, even as well, but nobody talks about it. The world have now chosen to pay attention to Nigeria, genocide happening in Nigeria, but they ignore the genocide that's happening in Biafra land. forgetting that that is the origin. That is the origin. The same people you are seeing today that they're trying to eliminate in the north joined hand in Nigeria also to eliminate Biafrans, continue to commit the genocide since 1966, until when they saw that it is very impossible to exterminate the Biafrans, they withdrew back and they begin to go against the people that worked hand in hand to them against the Biafrans. And today, that genocide have intensified. I thank Chukwu Okeke that finally they are paying attention. But why are they separating the genocide in Nigeria and choose one part to discuss one part and forget about one part? Why? Why have they chosen to ignore a section and take a section to discuss? Why is it so? Why is it so? Biafran activists are haunted. Villages are burned. The same thing Boko Haram is doing in the northern part of Nigeria. Nigerian government is doing exactly the same thing in Biafra land. That's this very thing that is causing outrage, that the whole world is outraged about in the northern part of Nigeria. This crime and genocide against the Christians in the north, the federal government of Nigeria is doing exact thing against the Biafrans in Biafra land, the old southeastern region. They are doing the exact thing. And nobody's talking about it. Pro-Biafran activists are hunted down every day. Villages are bombed. Markets are raided. Markets are raided. Even as we speak, so many markets completely shut down in Biafra land. You saw the program that our sister was conducting when she was showing a kotutu, deserted completely. You cannot see a single person in that market. So many other markets in Biafra land deserted. All thanks to Nigerian terrorist military. Doing the exact thing the Boko Haram are doing in the northern part of Nigeria against the Christians. The same justification. The Nigerian government claims it is restoring peace or fighting terrorists. But in the truth, this is a state-backed genocide against the Biafrans. The same way northern Christians killing are hidden under the label of banditry. So you see, these two things are the same thing, but the world chooses to pay attention to the one that favors them. The one that is not going to affect their economy. The one that's not going to affect their interests. But these two things are the same thing, happening in the same country, by the same, sponsored by the same people. And if you see the way they operate, it is the same justification they are giving to the genocide in Biafra land and the genocide against the Christians in the north. The Nigerian government claims it is restoring peace or fighting terrorists. But in truth, this is not backed. This is state-backed genocide in Biafra land. The same way in the northern part of Nigeria, Christian killing are hidden under the labeling of it is banditry, it is farmers' headers clashes. They never accept responsibility. They always give a title that will enable them to continue the evil unnoticed by the world. So as the world is paying attention to the genocide in the northern part of Nigeria, they should equally pay attention and know that that genocide is connected to Biafra land. It has been going on in Biafra since 1966. It's been going on from the pogrom till date. It's been ongoing. And nobody seems to pay attention. Why are you separating the two? They keep on silencing the Biafran people. Just as northern Christians are silenced through fear. The same way they have silenced the northern people through fear, a northerner cannot confess his faith in the public anymore. They can't speak. They are afraid. Biafrans are silenced through imprisonment because they know that we are fearless. Biafrans cannot keep quiet. You cannot. It doesn't matter how many people you murder. Biafrans will not keep silent. What do? They try to silence us through imprisonment, unlawful detention, and killings. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a victim of this same oppression. Our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, is a victim of this same oppression. All these things are connected together. So we are calling on international communities and people that matters that when you are talking about this very genocide of Christians in the northern part of Nigeria, it has its base and origin from starting all the way from Biafra land. Because the Biafran people are 99% Christians. Even those that claim to be Jewish and those that claim to be traditional religious, they were once Christians. They were all Christians once in a time. Before they decided to confess. Okay, let's give it to them. 90% of people in Biafra land today are Christians. 90%. 90% they are Christians. So these two things are connected. So how do you come onto this very issue and you begin to separate them? It is only a calculated attempt. And you know that the main resources that this Boko Haram is chasing is in Biafra land. Their target is in Biafra land. They want to take over the land by all means. If not for the resilience of the Biafrans, the strength of the Biafrans, the fearless nature of the Biafrans, that is why they cannot penetrate. They have tried several times, they couldn't succeed. But today, the federal government itself is on top of the game, doing the job for them. The federal government of Nigeria is the one today sponsoring the genocide of the Biafran people. In Okigwe, they are taking the life of young men and young women, first from 15 years upwards. We have seen several videos of people testifying to this and confirming it. There is a strong connection between the two genocides. The genocide in the northern part of Nigeria against the Christians and the genocide in Biafra land. There is a strong connection between two of them. And until you begin to look into the two, you are not sincere in stopping the genocide. Until you begin to look into the two, you are not sincere. You are not sincere. And that is the truth. Until you begin to look into the two genocides that is going on at the same time, you are not sincere. I don't see any sincerity in what the world is doing. In as much as we appreciate the fact that at least they are turning their light to that entity called Nigeria, that terrorist entity called Nigeria. For the fact that they are turning their light towards that direction, it is a plus, but that is not enough. There is a connection between the genocide in Biafra land and the genocide against northern Christians in the northern part of Nigeria. The same ideology drives both genocide. The same ideology drives both genocide. A Nigeria that does not value Christian life, a Nigeria that sees the Igbos and the Christians as enemies to be subdued. That is the Nigeria we have today. That is the Nigeria you are seeing. The same ideology drives both genocide in Biafra land and genocide in the northern part of Nigeria against the Christians. What you have today is a Nigeria that does not value Christian life. A Nigeria that sees the Igbos and the Christians as enemies that must be subdued. That is the Nigeria you have today. That is the roadmap put in place by the caliphate. That is what the enemies of the people have put in place, and they are pursuing that agenda in different fronts. Where their terrorists cannot operate, they use the Nigerian forces to conduct the activities. The same thing the Nigerian military is doing in Biafra land, burning houses, taking innocent life, is exactly what the terrorists is doing in the northern part of Nigeria against the Christians. The same perpetrators are at play. The same perpetrators, Fulani extremists in the north, backed by the same Nigerian state that sends its military to terrorize Biafra. And the military they send are still repentant Boko Haram, foot soldiers of Fulani. They are the same people that they send to Biafra land. That is why it is the same footprint you see. The way they operate in Biafra land, burning of houses, taking of innocent life. As simple as knowing that you are a Biafran, that is enough to take your life, and nobody is held accountable. Only a terrorist will go ahead and take a man's life for no reason, for no just cause, simply because he doesn't like you. What are the reasons they are burning homes in Biafra land? You go to a family house that houses more than 15 people, a family house that houses one, even if one person there have committed a crime, do you have to destroy the entire building, burn the whole houses, take every life that is there? The only people that does that are terrorists. And that is what Nigerian government is doing in Biafra land. In a country where they say that a man is presumed innocent until proven guilty. But in Nigeria, in Biafran territory, the only thing they need to take your life is to just identify you as a Biafran, an Igbo Biafran, and you are gone. They don't hide it. A policeman will look at your face and tell you the only thing he will do is to drop the flag of Biafra in your body and he will shoot you and you're gone. The only thing he needs to do and shoot you and tell the government that he is a member of IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra. You can imagine that. The connection is so deep that it is the exact thing. So I don't see why anybody should separate these two together. You don't have to separate it. It is the same people that are perpetrating the crime. The same Fulani extremists. The same Fulani extremists. They are the one operating in Biafra land and in the northern part of Nigeria. The same silence cover-up is what we see on both sides. The same silence cover-up. The same silence. That is what we see on both sides. International community look away. Why the blood of innocent people cry out for Kaduna to Aba? They look away. Only suddenly, recently, because of their own interest, whatever, they began to pay attention. And I thank Chukwu Okabewa that they realized it. But yet, they are still separating it from the genocide in Biafra. It is one thing. It is one people conducting it. It is one government sponsoring it. But because of economic interest, they have failed to look onto the issue of Biafra. They always isolate it and take it away. But we will continue to throw it out there. There are men of conscience that will look into it and know that these two things are connected together. The Christian genocide in the north and the Igbo genocide in Biafra land are two sides of the same coin. They are two sides of the same coin. Any attempt to separate the two is an act of wickedness and pretense, and it is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. We cannot continue to fold our hand and watch these things happen. It is a time for us to take action. It's a time for the world to rise up and take action before it is too late. Protecting Biafra land and protecting the Christians in the north is also protecting the world. If these terrorists succeed in taking over the Biafra land and get their hands in the wealth, which is what they are pursuing, Europe will never be safe. America will not be safe. But for one reason or the other, the world are keeping silent, even though when they know that the greatest ally the world can have to stop the terrorists in Sahel is Biafra. Every time the US will tell you that they are working hand in hand with Nigeria to stop terrorism, and I don't know what they are working with Nigeria, a terrorist country. You are working hand in hand with a terrorist to stop terrorism. How does it work? The same thing you have done in so many places in the Middle East, and it never worked. You worked hand in hand with terrorists to destroy Iraq. You work hand in hand with terrorists to destroy Iraq. Today, has Iraq survived? You work hand in hand with terrorists in Afghanistan. Did it succeed? You work hand in hand with terrorists in Libya. Did it succeed? And you are repeating the same thing in Nigeria, working hand in hand with the terrorists. And you say you want to stop terrorism. You say you want to stop terrorism, and you're working with the terrorist country. It's not because we said it. You can imagine what prompted a court in a country like Finland, a civilized country like Canada. A civilized country like Canada, in their court, a judge, in a high court, a judge said that the ruling parties in Nigeria are terrorist organizations. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. Go and Google it online. You will see it. A court in Canada confirmed that Nigerian ruling parties are terrorist organizations. And because of that, they denied them asylum in Canada. But for one reason or the other, these same terrorists continue to participate with the United Nations. I don't know why. These same terrorists continue to have a podium in United Nations to speak. That is when you hear about United Nations, you know they are not united. They have little or nothing to offer. In one hand, you want to stop terrorists, and in one hand, you are giving terrorists a podium to speak. In one hand, you want to stop terrorists. In one hand, you are sponsoring them. How does that add up? Every one of us that cares on the planet Earth, every human rights activist, every Biafran, we must speak louder now than ever. We must speak louder than the silence. And we must continue to document, expose crimes, so history will record that we said the truth. So history will record that we spoke and we said the truth. We must connect struggles. The Christian in Plateau and the Biafrans in Aba and other part of Igbo land are victims of the same system. They are victims of the same system. Whoever is speaking, human rights activists that are talking, you must connect this dot. These things are the same thing. You can't treat one and leave one. It will still infect the other. You don't treat one part and allow the other part to continue. If you want to treat infection, you treat it completely, outrightly, and let it go. The Christians in Plateau and the Biafrans in Aba, in Owerri, in Okigwe, in Enugu, they are victims of the same system. Victim of the same system. And you must not separate them. We must connect the struggles. Connect it. Every one of us as Biafrans, those that cares and matters, human rights activities of the world, we must pressure the world to recognize these acts as genocide. What is going on today against the Christians in the north and what is going on in Biafra land is nothing else than genocide. We must unite as a people, because divided we are weak, but together we cry and shake the heavens. There are so many evidence to show that Nigerian government is fully involved in the atrocities they are seeing, the genocide that is going on both in the northern part of Nigeria against the Christians and the one that is happening against Biafrans in Biafra land. There are numerous evidence to show that. We have seen confessional videos that are coming out from people who were eyewitness. We have seen confessional video from people who are on ground where things happen. Some are of recent, some are in the past. These videos continue to come and nobody has been able to deny it. I want you to hear this one. When we talk about government involvement in this very genocide, it is not a made-up story.
People were killed. When I woke up this morning and I got the story of what happened, the first 7 calls I put across were all killed. The first 7 guys I called.
You tried to call, we're all dead.
Exactly. They were all dead. So in my village today, if you speak to someone, just be very rest assured that in the next 1 week or 2 weeks, you hear the sad news about that person you've just spoken to. And do you know, before now, just last month, about 20 people were killed in that same village. They are the Fulani, and it's not ethnic profiling. They are the Fulani, it's not ethnic profiling. When people want to be politically correct, they will say, no, that is an ethnic, it's not, and that is why you see the Sultan of Sokoto will not react to this. He reacted when just about 11 people were butchered were killed in Edo State, the so-called hunters. They reacted. They put up Northern Elders Forum. They made several press conferences. Many governors stood up. The governor of Edo had to travel to some of these states to go and say sorry. Just 11 hunters. That is alleged hunters. If really they were hunters.
They were not
who were killed. Now 200. Nobody in the north is speaking. Because that is the collective agenda. Jihad and the complete takeover of the land of our people. And let me tell you, so I'm saying it authoritatively. I'm an authority in this area. I was born and raised in Jos. I speak Hausa as my first language. I speak Hausa better than I speak Tiv. And let me tell you, this thing they call intelligence. We are the sources of this intelligence. The government sometimes use the narrative of intelligence to confuse you, as if what they know is different. They know exactly what we know, or we even know better. Because we are the sources of this intelligence. Many of my friends from the adjoining villages in Nasarawa State, who are of different ethnic group other than the Fulanis, anytime the Fulanis are mobilizing, like this attack, they told us day before yesterday. We communicated to the security force. Nothing has been done.
Did you hear that? Whenever this attack is coming, they will communicate to the security forces and nothing will be done. In the same manner in Biafra land, the difference is that in Biafra land, it is the security forces themselves that are carrying out the genocide. In the case of Biafra, it is the security officers themselves that are carrying it. But in the northern part of Nigeria against the Christians, when they report to the security officers, they will never pay attention.
No, just hold on, because this is too much to rush. I'm sorry. Are you saying that you got an intelligence report as a civilian? Your
Yes.
community had an intelligence report about this particular attack that killed over 200 people, and you.
My sister, do you know the funny thing? It is no longer secret. It's just like the secret cultism in Nigeria. They gathered their AK-47 in a community called Giza in Nasarawa State, in the boundary between Nasarawa and Benue, in Giza and Kadorko. All our friends from there, and they come out in the open with their this and they hold a meeting openly. You know, they are going to strike in Hirota, and then some people begin to bid them farewell. Allah Ikekulafia, Allah Ikekulafia.
Are you hearing? This is an eyewitness account. This man speaking is from Yelwata himself, from the very place where 200 people were burned to death, some in their sleep, children, women, including pregnant women. That they got the intel and they formed the government. Look at what is going to happen. Look at what they are planning. And when they were going for the operation, they didn't go in secret. They celebrated it and they went out, and calls came to them and said, look at what is going to happen. They called the security officers and they never showed up. They never showed up. And 200 human beings lost their life in Yelwata. And there was no outrage. Nobody has been held accountable till date as we speak. Nobody. Nobody has been prosecuted up to this moment. Even their media could not report it. The only person that went there to report it was Very Dark Man. Very Dark Man was the person who went all the way to Yelwata to cover the event himself. In fact, he was the one that revealed the real picture of how the thing happened. And what did the media, international media, do? They took down those videos where he posted it. They took the video down on Facebook. They took the video down on Twitter. They took the video down in all the platforms where he posted it. They took them down. Sponsored by Nigerian government. You know, the world is ruled by money. All this social media network we're using, all they need is money. They opened it for money. And as long as you can be able to pay the price, they will do what you tell them to do. And Nigerian government is ready to pay anything to hide the evil that is happening in the land. But I thank you today, after so many months, Yelwata is now coming back on the stage. And there are people. There was a time Benue State buried more than 200 people in a day. It didn't start today. It's not just Yelwata. Plateau State, it is not once, not twice. It didn't start today. In Borno, the same thing. In Enugu State, it happened. But nobody cares. All of a sudden today we wake up and they are talking about it. We'll thank Chukwu Okeke that at least they are speaking about it. But why are they disconnecting it with what is happening in Biafra land? It is the same thing, the same strategy, the same project, the same program. Only that of Biafra land, the Fulanese cannot be able to penetrate Biafra. They don't have that upper hand. They don't have that might. They don't have that courage to go there. Now the federal government are the one carrying out the operation on their behalf. Using the recruited Fulani terrorists, gave them uniform and ammunition to go to Biafra and begin to take innocent life. And there are numerous evidence to that. If not, why must you go to a house of innocent people? You burn the house, burn the properties, simply because you heard that this person is a member of IPOB. You go on the road, you see somebody riding on the bike, you shoot the person. Why is he riding on the bike on the street? You go into a village, any young man from 15 years upwards, you eliminate that person for doing nothing, only because the person is a Biafran. The exact thing the terrorist is doing in the northern part of Nigeria, wiping villages and clearing places for themselves. That is what the military is doing in Biafran territory. And nobody seems to pay attention, because here it's about the interests of the colonial masters, the West. They protect their interests. That is why they can't talk about Biafra. And they choose to talk about the Christian killings in the north, and they separate it. And they forgot that Biafrans themselves are 19% Christians. That is where their persecution have intensified since 1966 up to date. Why are you separating the two? That's another evil that need to be targeted and stopped.
May God take God take you safely. May God take you safely. Yes, they came in more than 100 bites. Listen, but that is how your country has degenerated.
Tell them
that these things are done in broad daylight. It has degenerated. And let me tell you, let me also shock you about 7 soldiers. I'm saying it as it is. About 7 soldiers joined them from the Giza, the community, are joining my own village. They arrested one who uttered all this, made this confession. He said some of the soldiers from Giza trained them of Fulani ethnic stock, and they joined them. They commandeered the whole thing. So what they did yesterday was extremely tactical and strategic with military precision. Right now, there are a lot of tea villages in my council ward that will be taken over by Fulani. They take over not just for grazing, but for proper settlement. You go to these villages today, you find even their kids crawling, small kids who are yet to start walking. They brought them, their families, occupying thief homes, thief houses, which are still standing, occupying those houses. And they have their kids there, not just their cattle. So it's not all about open grazing prohibition. It's about total takeover of the land.
You can imagine what is happening in a place where you have a country. This is what Nigerian government have been coming and tell you is farmer herders clashes. This is a confession coming from an eyewitness account. The same terrorists that come to commit that genocide and take innocent life and drive people away from their homes, they will go ahead and take over that home, bring their own family, live there, rename the village inside the country. In a place where you have a country, you have a government, you have a military. Terrorists will come, exterminate people, take over the place, go in, put their own children and they remain there. And they are still living there. Even as we speak, they are still there. And the US will tell me that they are joining Nigeria to fight terrorism. What a joke. What a joke. But in the Biafra land, the difference is that they cannot operate in that manner. They never born the full animal. They never born her. They know what the Biafrans are made of. They have tried to penetrate. During the COVID, they pushed them down. All they could do is to stay in the bushes and continue to kidnap people. But to unleash that rate of havoc, the way they unleashed it, no, they can't do that. But what do? They use the Nigerian military to weaken our section. They use Nigerian military, the Boko Haram, repeated Boko Haram, to penetrate and commit the same crime that are committed in the northern part of Nigeria. That is what is going on in Biafra land, even as we speak. So when we come here online to talk every day, it is not just because we want to make noise. It's not just because we want to talk. There are things that are happening that the world needs to know about. It doesn't matter how long you pretend that this is not happening. We will continue to bring it out. We will continue to show the world the truth and nothing but the truth. It's left for you to either take it or leave it. And when we say that these two things are connected, you cannot separate the atrocity that these people are committing with what is happening in Biafra. You cannot separate it. There's no way you can separate it. It is the same people, the same thing, the same agenda. The same agenda. And whenever you try to separate it, you are just being evil and deceitful. When you separate it, you are equally sponsoring them and helping them to conquer. That is what we are doing. And that is why we are here today, to connect the dots and let the world know that that genocide is not just against the Christians in the northern part of Nigeria. It extends to Biafra land. And that of Biafra land is worse because the government of Nigeria is the sponsor of the terrorism in Biafra land. Nigerian government is in the front line, sponsoring the terrorism. You can't run away from it. They can't deny it. There are several confirmations to that. We have seen several confirmations coming from right, left, and center. People are speaking from all angles. We have seen villages, communities come to complain on the way the government responded when they were called upon to come and take away the terrorists in their area. That alone is enough to convince you to know that the people who are perpetrating the government is fully involved. They are fully involved. They continue to sponsor them. The next day you hear they are reconciling, they are having meeting after they have taken innocent lives. But in Biafra land, those who are asking for self-determination, they go after them. They take innocent lives. And nobody cares. And the world is not paying attention. We continue to cry and we continue to complain. Nobody seems to care. And whenever they want to talk about it, they remove the issue of Biafra from it. They remove the issue of Biafra from it. Nobody wants to connect it with Biafra. Because they feel that when you talk about Biafra, it affects their own personal interests. Their oil will no longer flow again. Their oil will not flow again. So because of that, they ignore anything that has to do with Biafran genocide. They will never talk about it. When you bring it on the table, they ignore, they pretend they never had it before. Whenever you bring it on the table, they pretend they never had it before. But these things are happening every blessed day. Every single day, it is happening. Even as we speak, it is still ongoing. It is not time to play lip service. No. It is not the time to play lip service. If you care about humanity, this is the time for you to stand up and speak up. Everyone must stand up and speak up. We cannot continue to keep silent. The contraption called Nigeria is a terrorist organization itself. I didn't say it. I didn't just say it. It is not alleged by me. A competent court in Canada said it. A very competent court in Canada said it. And I cannot, I can't fail to agree with them because they are just saying, confirming what we have known for a very long time. The court in Canada just confirmed what we have known for a very long time and we have talked about. The involvement of Nigeria in the terrorism that is happening is unimaginable. It is very open and clear.
Attacking them.
Tell me more.
Okay. The Southeast geopolitical zone was destabilized by Abuja.
How?
Well, it started with police stations being attacked. You go to some place like Imo State, they attack the police station. The military, this thing is that of Obinze, they are just minutes away. Other military formations are there. They sack the prison. Nobody will do anything. All over the east.
Who was sacking the prisons, attacking the police stations?
Those people who were organized to attack those police stations and prisons were releasing prisons. That was where it started.
IPOB?
No, I'm not saying IPOB. I said those thugs who were attacking were doing those. But the central point I'm making is that you can't have a government in place and they sack a police station today, no defense. They sack a second one tomorrow, no defense. They sack 10 police stations in the state, no defense.
Chief Iluagbunam,
this thing
who was attacking the police stations? Is it IPOB?
You asked me that question. I said,
yes,
no, I don't attribute those attacks to them. The people who should have answered their question are the government functionaries who had the means and the wherewithal to counter those attacks. But that was leading to answering your question, the destabilization of the Southeast geopolitical zone. Okay. Now, when Buhari was military head of state, he organized with some ex-Israeli security agents to go and kidnap Umar Diko in London and bring him back to this country. They kidnapped Umar Diko, they took him to Stansted Airport, they created him, drugged him, but the Scotland Yard Police Department, they found out and released the man. 30 years later, when he became civilian head of state, he went to Kenya and seized Nnamdi Kanu and brought him back here. That is at the heart of the instability in the country now. The Supreme Court has said, release this man. The Supreme Court is the highest judicial authority. If you release Nnamdi Kanu today, I tell you, the chances of peace returning will be 90%. Why? A lot of the disorder you see in the Southeast zone now is tied to sit at home.
Who ordered sit at home in the first place?
When it started?
Yeah.
When it started, it was IPOB. Initially. At that time, nobody was forced to sit at home. People did it willingly, who liked. If you didn't like, you went your way, nobody disturbed you. Now, you have multiple voices ordering sit at homes. There's one fellow who is in Finland.
Simon.
Every blessed day.
You see, when we talk about all these things, you have to get the origin. When they use their media to push their lies, we go back to the origin of our discussion, how it all started. When that man was trying to talk about the issue of sit at home is something that we promote and we still talk about it up to today. Sit at home is still going on. No life is lost. Nobody's been attacked. But federal government of Nigeria, during that time of sit at home, we are the ones still sponsoring. They were the ones who were still sponsoring the unknown gunmen to go and enforce it at home in the name of IPOB, just to blackmail it. This is what we have seen again and again. Flag of operation of Nigerian government. They did that in NSAS. In NSAS, Nigerian government sponsored talks that was caught on camera. Who came and fought against people, innocent people who were conducting normal protests. The bad governance they just did recently, we saw them also. They conducted and brought talks to fight against it. So these false flag operations of Nigerian government and their DSS, we know them. And you can't use it to confuse us. But we have been shouting and talking about it. Nobody listens. Today, finally, the villages where Nigerian government is sponsoring terrorists, they are speaking up and talking. They are talking. And I want you to listen to this.
Nigeria army come to Owerri every blessed day to demolish houses. And if they are coming, sir, they come with Fulani men. As we speak, Fulani men have taken over our community, abhorred by Nigeria army.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? The army come to their territory to burn houses. And when they are coming, they come along with Fulani terrorists. After they burn houses and people run away, then the terrorists will take over and remain in that place. Why they will drive the villages and tell them to go to refugee camp and stay. I didn't say it. Look at, this is an eyewitness account. Look at them protesting. This is an eyewitness account. So when we are talking about these things are connected, don't isolate it and say it's just about the northern part of Nigeria. It is not just about northern part of Nigeria. The terrorist government of Nigeria is sponsoring the takeover of the entire place for an agenda. The Ottoman Danfodio agenda, that is what they are pursuing. And they're not looking back at it. I want you to hear this confession from eyewitness.
Nigeria army come to Oregon every blessed day to demolish houses. And if they are commissar, they come with full and men. As we speak, full and men have taken over our community, abhorred by Nigeria army. If you see the big camp they have built for full and men in our community, it's even bigger than the whole of our community. If they destroy one house in Oregon, they will build 50 Fulani men camp. If they destroy 50 houses, they will build thousands of Fulani camps. As we talk, we don't longer go to our...
I belong to you.
That's all.
I beg my brother.
So I want to appeal to the governor.
Thank you, sir.
And I can assure you that our governor is a very responsive governor. We will take action on this. It's a very serious issue. So I want to let you know that we are going to take it to the governor, who will take a decision on how to move these issues forward. But I can assure you that the governor will respond, and he will respond very swiftly on this issue.
Well, I want to see me costly for my house. I just call my house.
You can see every time this thing happens, all you hear from the government is lip service. They will never do anything.
Millions of naira.
You had a testimony direct.
Nigerian army do my house. Nigerians, wanna see. Young boy where he come, where just really seriously they say make you stay alive. They be now government and I don't know Enugu just demolish this kind of house like this. Look the house. These are the four this fence. Okay, this fence is never enough. They just go somebody master. This is a finished house. Not the house where we say they see they work on, or maybe say they work. See they look. There are things inside this house. See. Look at the first parlor. See. See. This place now wall, oh. Not be so here, be now full wall. Did this place, oh. Now they use sledgehammer. I don't know what they take break my house. Take break somebody's house.
Play the back.
You see the havoc. You see the havoc.
See houses there. They leave those ones. Now my own head they come break for you. They see break the other side too.
No, now only this one.
They see break here too.
And then knock on this one. Look at this.
The same thing the Fulanis are doing. The same thing is what Nigerian government army is doing. The zoological military are doing. Destroying innocent houses. Displacing people.
Yesterday's evening, at about 6
This is another account.
We learned that armed Fulani and their cohorts, who are the bandits and other terrorist networks, were moving from Bangay Fulani settlement to Bindi, which is Jebu village of Tahoe's community area local government. And I immediately intimated the sector commander that this is what is about happening, and he assured me that he will make deployment. After some minutes, I called him and he assured me that his men are already pinned down and they have spotted the Fulani grazing their cows, because that is what they usually do. Their modus operandi to attack villages and communities is to come massively, with their cows, and then of course the attackers will pin down and the cattle will go back. And that was the exact thing that happened last night. And so at about 10 p.m., there were some sporadic gunshots. They made an attempt, and so the vigilante that were on ground, and also the unit commander that is stationed at Soap, whom the people actually, commended the effort he made. They resisted the attackers at the first instance. And so at about 3 p.m. or thereabout, the 3 a.m. of this morning, the attackers regrouped themselves and came. And of course, they opened fire and killed as many as 27 people. Some were burned down to ashes at the pastorium. And it actually shocked us that despite the effort that some of the security made, we learned that there's another intervention team that was sent to come and respond or to add to the force of the security already on ground. We learned that those ones couldn't do anything. And so it actually baffles us that, of course, this is part of the collusion and the complicity of the security agents that have been sent to respond to a distress call, but they couldn't. And it led to this. And the people who were calling, they said, please, sir, could you help us? And of course, there was nothing. So we are calling for investigation into the activities of those that were sent afterward. But we must commend the STF operatives that were stationed at SOAP, because if not that they have stood their ground, the actually fatality would have been higher than this. So we are calling that we are Nigerians, and in this general area, all farm crops have been destroyed. Like last night in Jol community, they went and destroyed over 30 farmlands, completely mowed down. This did not only happen in Jol, it also happened in Mbati. It happened here in Rinyan the same night.
Has there been anything that triggers this?
There is nothing, my brother. It's just act of terrorism. A terrorist does a terrorist need to be provoked to unleash mayhem on innocent people? They are killing everybody, and these are terrorists. It must be admitted. Government must admit that terrorists have infested and have formed their enclaves. Mahanga is 1, Bange Fulani is 2, Jebu is 3. This general area, and as well as fast, and with information available to us, which we have intimated the security, that they are brought in, as at last week, they brought in 5 kilos of attackers into fast. We were thinking that there's going to be a rapid response to have those people arrested. All the information we got is that the people that came for wedding, which wedding, and even went from the informants that were there, they witnessed these people, and it was from there they went to attack so many places. So we are dealing with attackers who are bandits, who are terrorists, who are armed Fulani militants, not Fulani hate men. It must be known. And if government will not rise up to the occasion to guarantee the safety of lives of people, I tell you, we have no option than to resort to safety, because it's constitutionally provided. And we cannot be killed. We are not created to be killed. We are created to live and serve God in our own land and enjoy our constitutional right. But today, we are living at the mercy of the bandits who are here. If it were a Fulani killed today, the whole community would have been ransacked. There was an allegation day before yesterday that a Fulani man was killed within this area. Military came and invaded this place. They came and ransacked the whole place. They are looking for a corpse of the Fulani, and that is the modus operandi of the Fulani. Whenever they want to unleash mayhem, they will frame up either a cow is rustled, or a cow is killed, or their kinsmen are killed. And then there is no establishment. If it is the truth, why wouldn't they allow security agents to carry out discreet investigation to unravel that? But of course, that was the same thing they did when they attacked Rim community within last week, and they killed 2 people. And we have not heard of any arrest. We have not seen anything. But our boys are currently in detention, that we arrested with nothing in their hands, and they are currently in detention. So what are we saying? Where on earth will this kind of injustice ever be perpetrated and then go free? If not because of this country, if not in this part of the country.
Thank you, sir.
So we are calling that all our youth that have been arrested for no just cause, for not in possession of anything, should be released with immediate effect. We had already calmed the youth down, because otherwise this place would have been a pathway, because youth were ready to block the road, to tell the world, to tell President Tinubu, to also tell Barrister Caleb Mutu and the executive governor of Plateau State that enough of what we are seeing in this general area. We cannot continue this way. Enough of it. It must stop. Government must rise up.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You have heard it. This is another part again, and these also are Christians. This is another part of the problem. These also are Christians. Every video I'm playing here, they are from different areas, from different sections, from different areas, different sections, different corners. People are complaining. Christians in the northern part of Nigeria from different sections, and these videos are in there. Different angle complaints are coming, and it's pointing at one people: Fulani terrorists, Fulani terrorists, Fulani terrorists. And the government hand is always seen in it. All the videos I've played about complaining, you hear the people talking about the government sponsoring, the government being part of it, the military coming to be colluding with them, the military not doing anything. In any place they go to attack, you will see eyewitness account. They will tell you that the military did nothing. Sometimes they stand by and watch. Sometimes you call them, they don't respond. And this is another one here from Pastor Elduba.
Oshun, Fulani, Ekiti, Fulani, Sokoto, Fulani, Katsina, Fulani, Kaduna, Fulani, Plateau, Fulani, Benue, Fulani, Taraba. Are you the only tribes in Nigeria? You are not the only tribe. There is nothing like profiling of a people. I'm a Fulani man. I'm a grandfather of 8 grandchildren. And we just have to speak the truth. The Bible says you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. As long as we continue to glouse over the truth, we will never get the answer. And I want to say this to our security men: until justice is done, there will never be a solution. If you get a Fulani man that is a killer, deal with him as a killer. If you get a Bureau man that is a killer, deal with him as a killer, and this will come to an end. But you don't give certain people advantage over other tribes. I respect the people that have hosted me, even though I am an indigene of Plateau State, because I was born here. My children are grown up. I have 8 grandchildren. But yet we respect the people we met on ground. In Maiduguri, my hometown, the people that come to meet us respect us. When the Boko Haram started in Maiduguri, it was us, the indigenes, the people, the Kanuris, who came together and said, this thing is among us. And then we started getting on, and then we raised the civilian JTF. That was how Boko Haram was dealt with. Kanuri man will bring his own children and said, Gashina ena chikin Boko Haram. And that was how we dealt with it. Mayati Allah Association, 80% of the responsibility of the genocide is on you. You have the 80% answer. Because if today Mayati Allah says this genocide will stop, it's not herders and farmers clashes. Intentional genocide, terrorism, and that must stop. It must stop. I'm not happy to move as a Fulani man and my tribe is being profiled. My children, when they travel out and Fulani, here Fulani, there Fulani, I am a proud Fulani man. I am a proud Kanuri man. It's just like when Boko Haram started. We're not proud of it. Why should it be from Borno State? But then we decided to fight it. I am here to say, Nigeria, we are not honest to ourselves.
You have heard it. All these things are pointing to one thing: the Fulani terrorism in Nigeria. But what we are saying that these things are connected with what is happening in Biafra land today. The terrorism against Biafran started since 1966. From the pogrom till date is still ongoing. Even those who joined them in committing the genocide against us, today they are after them. They feel that they are no longer useful to them, and now today they want to exterminate them and establish themselves properly. Today, the people that have taken over the genocide in Biafra land is the federal government in broad daylight. They don't hide it anymore. They don't hide it. We have intercepted so many of the intel they give, many instructions they give to take the life of young men from 15 upwards in Biafra land. Many a time, that very information have been intercepted. And we have shared it and called on the international community to pay attention. But unfortunately, the international community chose to look at what they want to look at. Even after so many years, they have begun to look at the genocide in Nigeria, they still ignore the genocide in Biafra land. That is still ongoing even as we speak. The genocide in Biafra land is still ongoing. We have several evidences to show about the genocide. A lot of evidence have been released and supplied by Mazen Dandekan or Mazen Samonekwa to different organizations. And each and every one of us on our own have sent messages, petitions, letters, pictures, videos. But yet, they choose to be silent. How long is the world going to remain silent? How long is the world going to remain silent? This is not just about the Biafran people. It is not just about the Christians in the north. It's about humanity itself. If the terrorists succeed taking over Nigeria, Europe will be in trouble. America will be in trouble. If they get their hand in resources in Biafran land, which is the powerhouse they are looking for, the resources they are looking for to sponsor their terrorism is in Biafran land. That is why the terrorist country Nigeria is bent on taking away every human being in that territory. And nobody is saying anything. What crime have you committed? Asking for self-determination, which is a right. They decided to criminalize self-determination because we are asking for self-determination. And you want us to be silent. Who does that? We will continue to speak, no matter how long it takes. You're welcome, my brother Christian. Reality against... You're welcome, Reality. Thank you for joining. Go ahead and speak to us, Reality, if you're there. This is Christian. You're welcome.
Morning, brother. You want me to speak or after Reality?
Reality, let's hear you.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Yeah. Good morning to all my fellow fans across the world. It is very obvious that the truth is there, but the people are hiding. But I use this opportunity to first and foremost appreciate our Oyendo Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and at the same time say that God will continue to keep him, irrespective of the plans of the people to kill him, because of this same truth he has come out to say over and over. And as well, I appreciate Simon Ekpa, and I also pray that God will keep him where he is, and both of them will continue to stand on the same truth and will not give up until everything gets over and we will all meet together and rejoice to the glory of God. So now I will also pass a short message to Dr. Ngozi Orabweze that whatever she is doing, she should be very careful because we have internal enemies who are being bought over by these people, and they are using them to, achieve their aims against us. So I really appreciate her resilience and what she is doing. And to all our people who are standing, unlike you are doing the needful, and irrespective of what is happening, you are not backing down. So right away, it is very obvious it's not the first, it's not a new thing. You see, something here is that is so terrible, or what is too complicating here is that we are facing two giant enemies with a selfish interest, perhaps three. I'll mention why I say it's three later on. Now, number one, they have discovered that within this geographical space where we find ourselves, we have a lot of minerals, numerous of it. And that has been the reason why, first and foremost, the Fulanis came in and discovered that they raised their empire to fight against our people, kill them all, so to occupy the place and ensure that everything that is embedded within our land belongs to them. They tried that on several occasions, all time before now, they couldn't succeed. Before the colonial masters came in. And the colonial masters came in because of the same mineral resources. And when our people actually defeated the Fulani, the Madam Fudio's empire at then, the people now, the remaining ones left. So when these other people came in, like the Westerners, that is the colonial masters, when they came in over the same interest, they did their best for their water to put it, and finally took over the land, subjected our people, and we now get it to be that they founded this place. When we were already in existence before they came. And over same interest, they continued. And later on, when Namdi, Azikiwe, and others were like, we needed independence, they stamped them. And we're like, okay, we are going to do this or that, okay, we'll give you freedom, which wasn't really freedom, but a stamp. And on this process, they have to take the same people who came in earlier over the same interest, the Fulanis, and give them power. And to use them and still continue to like extract these minerals onto themselves. And today, these people known as the government of Nigeria are the constituted agents by the Europeans, I mean the British, to continue extracting these minerals over their interests. And the same people that they constituted over the power as the state actors today, known as the Nigerian government these days. They are this same set that came earlier before this time over the same interests on the same minerals. This is what our people should know, that two giant enemies are standing over what God gave to us or blessed us with. And so at this time, they say that at a point when Ojukwu came up and was like, no, I have discovered this, the gameplay of the game going on. And then he was trying his best to see how we could really get our freedom. Now, what happened? The people gave him a fight, and finally they discovered that they cannot really get the Biafrans. They are an ancient set that God has given so much strength that they cannot defeat. That we are not, they are not a match to defeat us. And so they were like, okay, what are we really going to do? They devised a means that we call divide and rule game. And then they have to start buying up some of our people, making agents internally from within us. And then to use them because they know that it is only us that, it's only our people who knows us and knows our tactics together that can fight us. And then they create that infighting, and then we keep fighting here and there, leave concentrating over what we are supposed to concentrate on, and while they keep on extracting our minerals, which is in their interest. And the whole thing will now like, we are not moving forward, we are being stunted. Are you getting me? So now, the one danger here, the one danger here is that the enemy outside is not actually a problem, because when we stand unitedly, the enemy knows that he is not a match, he can't stand us. And so what we are facing, our problem now is the internal enemy. That is our problem. The internal enemy is our problem. And how do we really sit and re-strategize to see how we can do that is deal with this internal enemy? Because once we are able to stand our ground and fight this internal enemy and a kind of subject him, then our problem is over. Our problem is over then. Because as long as we continue pampering these internal enemies and the people there are, continue sponsoring them by bribing them, buying them up, and then they are fighting us internally. While you are going to fight the person you are seeing there, feeling that okay, this is the stranger, this is my real enemy, and then your brother is tapping you at the back, and then you realize you are not succeeding. You realize the enemy is now like, okay, he's the one on top. So if we can sit down, like I said, strategize and re-strategize against the internal enemy, subject him, then everything is over. Victory is sure immediately. So the whole thing, no matter the noise, we will make plenty noise and all of that. The people we are talking to, like most of these the international communities, already have the interest on this same thing we are being blessed with. What is really exposing us to this danger and problem is that thing that we are being blessed with. That thing that God blesses us with. That seems to mean that ourselves that own the things that have been blessed with this, we don't even know what we have been blessed with. That is what is exposing us to the danger we are facing. And the person or the people they said complicating the whole thing for us, like I said, is the internal enemy. That was why earlier I mentioned we have two giant enemies that we are facing, and yet three. So the number three is that internal agent that has been made by these two giant enemies from within us to fight us, because they know they are the ones who have the same strength we have. They are the ones who know our fighting tactics and all of that. So if we can strategize against the internal enemy, subject him, our problem is over. So I don't know how I want to buttress this, but this is the fact, this is the reality. And this is just what we have to look into, nothing more. And once we are able to come to this point and come up with initiatives that will really make an end to this, you realize we will no longer have enough time to waste like we are wasting enough time here and there, and then the people are advancing time to time. So I made a super chat before this time. If you check it, you will see. I pointed out this. So I have a lot to say, but as I speak with you, let me just point a little thing. In Ecom State, Biafra created state, in Ecom State, from Old Cross River State, gold is being discovered in several communities.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure you saw the topic I was treating. I was treating the Christian genocide and how it relates to Biafra land.
Yes, that topic I saw it.
The genocide that is happening in Biafra land, and how the connection between both of them. Because what the world is talking about now is the Christian genocide. That is the talk of the town. That is what everybody finally they have keyed into it. But at the same time, they are separating it from genocide in Biafra land. So we want to create that awareness to let people know how these two things are. Two things that are one that you cannot separate. They are one thing. The objective is one. What the question is one. The people who are same people.
Yes, yes. The Christian genocide. Why I am going this way is this. This Christian genocide is just like a cover up on the other hand, if I have to say. Why did I say so? Early before now, when Usman Dan Fodio raised empire to fight against our people within this geographical space, before even the colonial masters, you realize then there was no Christianity. And the same interest that I am pointing at, which is what we have been blessed with, that is exposing us to this danger. So at that time, there was no Christianity found within this geographical space. It was after our people forgave them a fight and defeated them, then the remaining ones now withdrew to go and reinforce. On the process, the colonial masters came in. It was the colonial masters that brought Christianity so that they will use that Christianity and weaken our people to enable them conquer us and still, grab these mineral resources from us to enrich themselves. So whenever we are talking about these things, we should go down to the roots and genesis of it. I don't know if you get my point, sir. I really understand the topic.
Does the genocide that is happening in the northern part of Nigeria now, do you see any connection with it, with the genocide that is happening in Biafra land?
Of course, it's a connection because everything together, like I said, is still these mineral resources. They really want to take over the whole of this place that is called Nigeria today. They want to take over because of what is inside the ground. They want to take over. And that is the reason why they are killing the Christians. Because the Christians doesn't believe what they believe. And so they have to eradicate them so they can continue with one belief and gain what they came in for. So that is just the whole thing. It's connected together, no doubt. But the truth about it is they came in to take something. They came in for something. They want to take something. And that is what is inside our ground that God blesses us with, the mineral resources. And see, Mazi Chief, like I was mentioning the Ecom state in Cross River State. It's a newly created state by the US. The same minerals is going on here. And who are the people here coming in, privately to mine this gold? The Fulanis are all over this place. Massachusetts, you'll get my point. The same Fulani we are talking about that used to sneak in like that, coming in subtly, and then until they gain grounds before they strike. The same people have taken over all of these villages I am mentioning in income states because of the gold that is being, discovered here. So we are talking about the same thing. So this is the genesis of it. And as we have just come into these villages to occupy because of these minerals, before you know what is happening, the clash will come in. And they will start terrorizing the people. And at the end of it, they will refer it to a clash, just as they have been saying, from even the videos you have played before now. So they will tactically come in, project out when they have fully gained some ground or maybe stayed for maybe a year, 2, 3 years, sometimes a little above that. And then they will now come in like a small clash just to see how they can start killing the people and to eradicate them. And how is that class going to come in? they will now cover up with, that our different beliefs. Because in the whole of Biafra land, our people believe on Christianity. And they themselves believe on their jadi, whatever. So they will now use that as a clash. It will start like that. It will ignite like that a little, like a clash between, Christians and the Muslims or whatever. And then that's where the whole thing is going to start. And the same terrorist government of Nigeria that is being piloted by the same Fulanis will come in and side them. This is the problem we are facing. Let this truth be told. Unlike one of these Fulani man mentioned, Rabbi mentioned, he said, know the truth and the truth shall set you free. So this is where we are. You understand?
Thank you, my brother. Thank you
So,
so much for your contribution. You've spoken well, and your point is noted. We will always try to create this awareness to let the world know that whatever is happening in the north as Christian genocide has everything to do with what is happening in Biafra land. That genocide started long ago, all the way from 1966, mainly through the pogrom. It was targeted at one thing, and one intention is what they have, to take over the land, to subjugate the people. That is the intention. The people they are fighting against today, they were aware of it. They were part of it at a stage. They were part of it. But eventually, they couldn't be able to penetrate. But today, it is very clear that the federal government of Nigeria is the one carrying that act of terrorism in Biafra land, while the terrorists are in the north doing their bidding over there. It is the same project that they are pursuing. And I hope that the whole world will stop separating these two things. They are one. When they are talking about one, they should link it up. It is one thing. If you want to cure a cancer, cut it out completely. You don't have to begin to treat it. You cut it out completely, and that is it. My brother Christian, please speak on. Let's hear you, Christian, if you are there.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Morning. Yeah,
No.
okay.
Yeah, I can hear
Network. Network disturbed this morning, so but and I did busy slightly too, but I just want to say a few things regarding this the killing of Christians in Nigeria. It's without a doubt, one goal is just the same objective because everybody, obviously, the goal is to Islamize the entire Nigeria, and there's no how you will achieve that having Christians in the way. So you will start from eliminating Christians, and Biafrans makes up about 90-something% Christians. Everybody knows that. Even those who are traditional believers, one way or the other, they are connected to the same faith, Christian faith. And so it just, the world, if they fail to call it for what it is, that is also because most likely the British government, who sees Nigeria as their business center, of course we know what they want, and they want to remain as Nigeria because they are the beneficiaries. It's their business empire. The oil, that is their main target. That they feed fat on that, and so obviously, you can say the waste at large. They feed fat on the natural resources coming from Biafra, which oil and gas. And they also know that if the country, if Biafra gets their independence, all that stops. It comes to an end. Therefore, they will not mention. They will be saying the Christian, the mass genocide of Christians.
Oh, we lost bro Christian. Please send back your request, bro Christian. We lost you. Try and get back so that we can get your submission. Bro Christian, try and send back your request. We lost you. Send back your request. so that we can get you back. Okay. Okay, welcome back. Go ahead, my brother, listen.
Yeah, man, choose all the network. I don't know what it is, but we can't be discouraged. We must continue to try our best. You know. So like I was saying, yeah, there is, but it's all coming out slowly but surely. They will all come out because there's no way of separating it. The two are just the same. And to solving it is just allowing the Biafran nation to have their freedom. That is just the solution. There's no two ways. You know, it's fascinating because a few days ago, Showore, whom when he spoke, when he talked about the Igbo elders connection to Nnamdi Kanu's incarceration, we agreed 100. I personally agree with you 100%, and that is just a fact, right? But at the same time, he was asked just maybe 2 or 3 days ago, he was asked about the statement from Bima, and he rejected it. He did not acknowledge it. He said it's not true. Now, but that is the problem. That right there is the problem.
Imagine.
President or whatever. But
he joined them to endorse former headers clashes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's saying that it's politics, blah, blah, that, So, but the thing is this, yeah? You cannot speak the truth halfway if you are to be believed. And if you want to be a president or whatever, you have to be able to go all the way, speak the truth, a whole truth, holistically. But that half-truth business is not going to fly because even Obasanjo, whom is one of the people that created the problem in the zoo, do you know that Obasanjo said it, that there's an agenda, there's plan to Islamize and colonize Nigeria? Are you aware of that?
Of course. Every one of them have confirmed it.
Okay.
All of them, those people who were on the top of power in that Nigeria, people that matters.
Okay.
They have put it show to begin to, this. That is where we disagree with them. That is where we see him as a politician.
Yeah.
He is still trying to make a landing space for himself.
Yeah.
For being the president. There are certain things we will say he will not get one vote from the north.
Exactly.
He still need that vote from the north. That is why he is now restricting himself from using certain languages.
And anybody who is either unwilling or is not brave enough to go all the way when it comes to speaking the truth, then there's something wrong. Then obviously you can't possibly be a man to be trusted. In as much as you speak, in as much as you speak truth sometimes, but the fact that you are turning a blind eyes to truth, glaring everybody in the face, the truth that everybody sees, the people who are insiders, they have come and like Kule Olawumi, that Yoruba guy who came and said that there are people in high places in the government that their main objective is to show that they can Islamize Nigeria and turn Nigeria into the Taliban style. This is like his word. He said he knows them. He worked with them. And
this is somebody who was an insider.
Exactly.
He said I killed for Nigeria.
Yeah.
I took life on behalf of Nigeria.
Yeah.
So he's not speaking as maybe somebody told him. This is something he even interviewed people.
Exactly.
People.
He told them. He told them that.
Is it because it's your president that means that he has information more than other people?
Yeah, he invited them. He told them that, look, that for you to know that there are these people inside in high places of authority, that every Friday they are the one making it possible that they will open the gate of Defense Academy, Georgia, and the rest of it, and they will come in there. That is where the terrorists come in, and they know the terrorists when they come in. They come and they carry out what is it called, inspection and inventory, sort of, right, into the whole things, and that is where they were able to. They can come in and invade.
Strike anywhere they want to strike.
Exactly. So he said, these people. And their names is also there for the government. Now, So obviously, when it comes to Showore, this is the problem. And like I always said, the fact that he speaks truth on something doesn't mean that we don't know his situation, his position. And for me personally, I can't possibly give him a pass, because if you are unable to speak truth, you because you want to be politically correct, or because you want to be on the good side of evil, I'm sorry, it doesn't work with me. So, but Tinubu himself, I think it was either this week he went to Imo State in the company of his co-criminal, a 419 criminal, Hope Uzodinma, and Tinubu, his drug trafficker, saying that, I don't know if you're aware, that he described IPOB as terrorist organization, Tinubu himself, right? Now, but he is the one who is parlaying, he is working with the terrorist group under his nose, the terrorists with arms and everything. They will come and they will have meeting with terrorists under his own government. Under his own government, the Hamas, they are finding a safe haven in Nigeria, coordinating. Hamas coordinating with the Boko Haram and the SWAP and all in Nigeria, and him, Tinubu's government, is coordinating with Boko Haram and ISWAP and all these terrorist organizations, because what they want to do is to control the narrative, the action and activities of these guys. Attack here, don't attack here, slow it down here, just to manage it out. Therefore, he's working with them. And the Canadian court has also pronounced the same APC.
And confirm what they are.
Yeah, that they are. So obviously, the words of Tinubu does not hold water at all, even in the international community, because if a country like Canada, their court pronounced that his party, his government, and the PDP, that they're terrorist organization, what more do you need? So obviously, it's very obvious. And given the fact that the Tinubu and his government, they know where the terrorists are, they have meeting with them, and they don't want to do anything with them. They're just pampering them, dishing out money to them, just to make them, So it's just crazy. But the good thing though is that all eyes is now on what is going on in Nigeria. But I also know one thing, bro. This is interesting, and that is that those people in government, in Tinubu's government, who are coordinating with the terrorists, because they on the field, you have the active terrorists on the field. Then in the offices, in the government, you have the terrorists who are there strategizing with them, telling them when to attack, when not to attack, how to attack, and how not to. And they're also following the events around the globe. So these people, we know these things. No anybody coming to like some of these paid YouTubers who are raw news online coming to say that Tinubu will restructure Nigeria, that Tinubu will do this, that Tinubu will create state police. They are all lying to themselves. Tinubu cannot do anything. Tinubu is only trying to be in the good book of this Northern Caliphate, these jihadists in the north, So, but it's going to backfire on all of them. It's just going to blow up in their face. One of these days, these same terrorist boys, they will march up into Abuja, into Aso Rock, and they will do what they want to do, because the military and the police, they will just stand down. They just be on stand down order, and they will come in and do what they want to do. So obviously, nobody can be fooled into believing that Tinubu's government is fighting terrorism. No, they are not. Trust me, Tinubu is not fighting terrorism. He said it himself. He said if he fight them, they will kill him. There's a woman who asked him, if you remember, before the election, yeah? What was it? I think it was during the election or before or after. I can't remember.
During that election time, before his election as a president,
exactly. Tinubu said himself.
What is there for them in the north?
Because the woman was complaining about high-level insecurity in the region. And Tinubu said that if he said that they will kill him. So, obviously, he has but for me, quite frankly, it's no different. They are just all in the same. Do you tell me how this Tinubu government can say they are serious about fighting terrorism. How can you say they are not the same if they left their camp, come to a meeting with the governors, under your nose, and you don't order the military, the Musa and the rest of them to go into that camp and bomb the hell out of them, and you turn around? Come on now. So it's just it's a waste of time. But there's no doubt the end game is to Islamize Nigeria. That is just the gospel truth, and there's no in between. Every other thing that comes along is complementary. The poverty in the country, the misrule, the misgovern was intentionally created. By the way, if you check, since ever, those that have been ruling Nigeria are mostly the Fulanis and a few Yorubas, and they've not done anything to create an environment that will assuage or discourage criminality, terrorism, banditry, and the rest of it. No, they're not, because they know that with the high-level poverty, with high-level horrible situation in Nigeria, it will only foster their agenda. Now they can buy up people. In a situation like that, they can ask for Uzodema, who was a criminal, 419er. They can call him and say, okay, we will make you the governor of Imo State, but this and this and this and that you must do, and swear an oath that you uphold it. That is as a result of, because this Islamization agenda has been on the works for many decades. Of course, many decades. When they had that Abuja, even before the Abuja Declaration, they've seen the need to take over Nigeria, to make Nigeria an Islamic country. And they've done so many things behind it, including the military logos, including the money, including so many. I mean, sometimes you can't even remember the areas in which they've infiltrated to pave the way, to make it possible. Do you know that the Muslim ticket, it wasn't an easy thing, because in the history of the zoo, they've never had a Muslim president advice. You know that they've never.
Not the first time now. It's the first time.
Exactly.
The project, the very first time.
Exactly. So people,
they just tested the water and they succeeded, so they can go further to pursue their caliphate.
Exactly. Well, that is the thing. They are just, test run. They are test running everything. This is what it's all about. It has never happened before. A Muslim, because part of their calculus was that with this now, they can just roll it over on everybody, Exactly. And that is what is happening, even though it's not quite as fast as they would have liked, right? So, but that is part of the disappointment that they also feel with Tinubu, that Tinubu is not rolling it as quick as they would have liked. But the truth of the matter is that Tinubu, because he's calculating that he's a Muslim himself. Tinubu is a Muslim. So by the time he manages out his tenure, whatever happens, happens. But it may not be, his tenure may not end. That 8 years is aiming now may not end before what is going to happen will happen. Because trust me, all these P2B or Tinubu and the Showore, when they come and say this, if you become president, P2B or Showore, how are you going to do? What exactly are you going to do with this ISWAP and the Boko Haram? How are you going to get them to make a U-turn? It's never possible. Are you mad? There's no way they will turn around and say they're no longer pursuing the Islamization when they are so armed, better armed than Nigerian soldiers. A few ones that are not among them, they are on the top. They are leading everywhere. And
their members have been put in important positions in the military.
Yeah.
Are you going to come in and sack all of them?
And in the Senate, they have people in the Senate who are the Boko Haram too in the Senate. They are coordinators, they are sponsors, they are financiers in the Senate. And the National Assembly, same goes. And because those people are being heavily sponsored by the bank, the Tajid Bank and some of this Islamic bank that has infiltrated the country. And when I dig deep into Lesotho, the closeness between him and Sanusi, Sanusi, the former CBN governor.
Yeah.
That's when I knew that all this whole bull crap from Lesotho, it's just a ruse, pure ruse. I'm telling you, these people don't know what's coming. He's coming now to pacify people. I'm the governor of Nnamdi Kanu very soon. Well, I think yesterday also he said that very soon. Very soon. How soon is soon? Over going to 5 years or more than that. Nnamdi Kanu has been there. You are saying very soon, very soon. So when is these people? They think they were stupid. We are not stupid, you know. But again, at the end of the day, the good thing is that the zoo will crumble. It will crumble. It's coming. It's coming without a doubt. But we must continue to make this noise. If it's noise, whatever it is, we must continue. We never give in. You know. Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that wonderful contribution. Bro Greg is just coming and we're almost rounding up. Bro Greg, take the mic and speak to us. Let's go ahead before we leave. Are you there, Bro Greg?
Okay. Mazi, good afternoon.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my greetings to every Biafrans today again.
Greg.
Yeah, my brother Chris. But thank God for today again that we are here talking about all the evil people who are terrorizing Nigerians, terrorizing Biafrans, holding our leader Maz Nnamdi Kanu, holding our leader Maz Simon Ekpan, and many others. So, there is no other thing we can do than to continue holding on with God. We believe Him that He will see us through, and He will see Maz Nnamdi Kanu and Maz Simon Ekpan through. There is no other option than freedom. Our prayers goes to them. Yes, I carefully watched all the clips you played, and my problem with all these Benue people, the Plateau, and the rest of them, my problem with them is they are continue weeping and crying and calling the same people that are killing them to come and rescue them. That is my only problem with them. Every time I watched the Plateaus, the Benue people complaining, there is one of them that is working with me, one Benue guy. So what I call him is Nigerian man. Every time he's on another department, most of the time we don't see. So, but anytime I see him, I'll call him Nigerian man. He'll call me Biafra man. So when we have the opportunity to discuss, then I will be telling him that their people are crying and weeping, and they are waiting for Tinubu and the Mustafa and the Shetima to come and rescue them because they are dying, which is 100% impossible. So, we, that the Biafrans, that they are killing as well, fighting for our freedom, why the international community is using the language Christians, just like we discussed it yesterday, if they mention the Biafrans, it will, they must talk about Maz Nnamdi Kanu. And because Maz Nnamdi Kanu is talking about freedom, they are taking advantage of that very word. They don't want to hear it. Today, Trump went to Britain and he denounced the mayor of London because the man is a Muslim, and the Muslim is what Trump doesn't want to hear with his ear. So for him, every person that is called himself Muslim is a terrorist. I myself, I see it in that way as well. I'm sorry to say it. So But the issue there is, in all these things that they are showing on the television, I don't think Nigerian television is showing it in the way they're supposed to show it. Because if they show it, then it will trigger international condemnation, and interest will start coming. So that's why they don't show it most of the time in Nigerian television, because it will be a national problem. So, but all these things that is happening in every part of the both in Biafra and there are some part of Nigerian countries, part of the Nigerian states, and all of them keep quiet, expecting Tinubu to come and save them. It's impossible. So, like when I have this discussion with the guy, he was telling me about what can they do, that they have boundary with this one, they have boundary with this one, they have boundary with this one. If they say let them go, which side would they go? And I asked him, I said, he asked me which side you will go. Okay, don't go any side until you find yourself completely destroyed by the terrorists. Then I asked him, I said, how many population did Luxembourg have? What is the population of, what do you call it, Iceland? What is the population of Malta? Are they not bold to be called a country on their own? If Benue want to free themselves, they want to call themselves a country, will they not be able to stand on their own? He said, yes, of course. I said, then what is holding you? You people are not supporting the Biafra to stand on your feet and support Biafra. And you are not, he doesn't want to go to the north. And he doesn't want to fight for your own freedom until you find no more Benue. So, does it make sense? He was looking at me, he didn't answer. I said, does it make sense? If you want, why not support the Biafrans to be free? And there is no way Benue will succeed except Biafra is free. It is only when Biafra is free that Biafra will stand as a country, and they have to Benue and all this Plateau to fight for their freedom, or for them not to be killed anymore. But as long as everybody is in the basket of Nigeria, they will be killing you and nobody will help you, because Biafrans, we are fighting for our own freedom. Doesn't want to be slaughtered anymore. But it cannot stop. And why it cannot stop is because the other people that you recognize the genocide, like this, you said Obasanjo recognized the Muslim who want to Islamize Nigeria. But they don't want any division. They don't want to do something very important. So what they want the Igbos to come and fight for one Nigeria and fight for other people to stop the genocide. So, because anything that Igbo did not stand to fight against, it will not work in Nigeria. That is the problem. So, that is the core they are trying to do. That the Igbos are not supposed to be fighting for Biafra. They're supposed to fight these Fulanis for one Nigeria. I told them they are fool. We can no more continue dying for Nigeria. We have died for Nigeria enough. So, if they are angry for their killings, they should stand up and defend their land. Because there is no way police and army can save them. Every politician I hear one of them come there to talk one thing or the other. It's only to calm them down, but they cannot save them, and the people will continue killing them. How many weeks ago did they have peace with terrorists? Did it work? The answer is no, because they have gold. So did Erufai not spend billions when he was governor of Kaduna State? Where are those billions he spent in Meti Allah and just ask them to stop killing? Where are those money? So all those things are just they are only, he just gave them money to buy weapons, simple, and they will come out and be telling you he's against the terrorists. It's not true. So the earlier that these people stand up, the more better for them. That is my only message to them. Thank you, Maz, and God bless you.
Bless you too, my brother. Thank you so much for that wonderful, wonderful contribution. I appreciate you for joining us and making an impact. And that brings us to the end of the program today. It's Saturday, so that people can be able to do what they have to do. And I also have to handle my own shit and prepare. I appreciate everybody. Hopefully, maybe if I'm free in the evening after my program, I will be also try to come back again and have another time with my fellow Biafrans. So wherever you are, I want you to continue to be hopeful, never give up. Continue to speak, add your voice, speak to the international communities to tell them what is going on. We must not stop talking, no matter how hard it is. Don't say you have spoken too much. Don't say somebody has said it before that you don't say it again. Say it again and again and again and again. There is never a time that it is too much to talk. Continue to speak. You never can tell who his own word is going to come just when it is needed. You never can tell who is going to speak just when it is needed. That is why we must continue to speak. So my fellow Biafrans that are watching everywhere you're watching from, I appreciate every one of you that have joined us on this program today or this weekend. Speaking, we are calling on the world international community to tell them that the genocide against the northern Christians in Nigeria is not just about them, it's also about the Biafrans. There is a connection there. And the earlier you handle these issues at the same time, the better for every one of us. If you ignore it, it is going to come back to haunt everyone. My fellow Biafrans, my people, let us remember the blood in the northern Nigeria is the same as the blood in Biafra land. Everyone that is watching this video, that will come across our video, the international communities, the human rights organizations, countries that are of concern, the blood in the northern Nigeria is the same as the blood in Biafra land. The cross attacked in Sokoto is the same freedom flag attacked in Aba, in Biafra land. Don't you ever misunderstand this. The cross attacked in Sokoto is the same freedom flag attacked in Abi, in Enugu, in Okigwe. The cry of the Christians, mothers in southern Kaduna is the same cry of the Igbo mothers in Owerri, in Enugu, in Abia, in Okigwe, in Orlu. One blood, one pain, one truth. This genocide against the innocent must stop, and it must stop now. Together we will break the silence. Together we will demand justice. Together we will rise. I appreciate everyone that have joined us from beginning to the end, and I say may Chukwu Okike Abiam continue to guide and protect every one of you that have participated on this program. I pray that Chukwu Okike Abiam will guide and protect you, and I wish you a very happy weekend. I pray for our leaders, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa, wherever they are. I pray that Chukwu Okike Abiam will guide and protect them, secure them. No weapon formed or fashioned against us as Biafran shall prosper. No weapon formed or fashioned against our leaders shall prosper. Thank you so much for being part of this program. Stay blessed, and I wish you a very, very wonderful and happy weekend. See you again later in the evening when I will be back by God's grace. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.